The Grateful Grump Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is the Grateful Grump here. Today we have another special guest on our podcast, my daughter, Tiki. You were a special guest on the podcast a year ago, were you not?
I was.
And what did we talk about back then?
My eating disorder.
And what has happened since then, Tiki?
I graduated high school. Then I went to UBC. I did this program called Science 1. It was really crazy, but now that's done. I don't know what I'm doing now. I am in a summer course.
And about 6 months ago, we released this book called 3 Years with a Monster, which chronicles this very hard journey that you've gone on. And now it's like 4 years with a monster, because the monster hasn't seemed to have gone away, would you say?
No.
No?
I think things were like doing okay,
Yeah?
and then they kind of got worse.
I see. Yeah. But we have noticed some things that have given us evidence that we haven't been able to rid ourselves of this beast.
I think that's an accurate statement.
Yeah. So here we are 4 years in, and we have lots of successes, right? But we also have a lot of struggles still. Now, you were saying on the walk over to this beautiful park how this eating disorder makes you feel.
I said it's all really stupid,
Yeah.
and I don't really understand it, but it's also really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you help some of us who don't struggle with the eating disorder understand a little more what's going on inside your mind? Because we've worked so hard to get to this point where we have all of this success, and then it seems like bit by bit you're going back into that hole that you don't want to be in, but here you are. Can you tell us a little bit about that struggle?
I think it's a lot of thinking, but a lot of thinking about things that you shouldn't think that much about, and a lot of like mental gymnastics about what's okay to eat, what am I going to eat, what did I eat, and then how can I justify what I'm going to eat, sort of. It's kind of like really annoying, but also it feels like I can't get rid of it.
Yeah. This terribly annoying thing that's going on inside of you that you want to just throw out, but yet it just keeps coming back. Yeah?
Yeah.
As time has gone by, in the last 9 months, we have all noticed a marked decline in your health. The doctor, the dietitian, mom, dad, and even yourself. It's harder for you to kind of come to grips with the decline, would you say, or?
I think sometimes it's really hard to gauge where you're at, especially with an eating disorder, because the eating disorders, well, at least for me, it's always like, you're doing fine, keep going, like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
So then it's hard to kind of separate that from, wait, maybe I'm not doing okay? Like, did I think about this as much before? Was I this anxious before? Is this sort of thing normal? But then over time it just becomes normal because, I don't know, habits, you just get used to them.
Yeah.
And then you don't really know where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's also difficult being an adult now because some of my care has changed. In adult programs, now I'm the one in charge, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
where I decide where I'm going to go, what I'm doing. Do I listen to this person? And I mean, it was kind of the same in youth, but more so parents and my support team were telling me what to do. And like, I can't really say forcing me to go places and do things or eat things, but like strongly encouraging me like there was no other option.
Yeah. And so now you're kind of feel more on your own, a little more cut adrift from the support, or?
Well, maybe a little bit, but it's difficult because it's not like people are telling me what to do anymore. It's like I have to tell people what I need.
Yeah.
But that's really hard to decipher, especially when the eating disorder is like, why are you telling them about this? Shut up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now here we are. It's May of 2026, and we are looking to get you back into residential treatment because the declines are so significant that now we are very afraid for your long-term health again. What do you think about that?
Part of me feels bad, like I undid all of the hard work that I did before.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit sad. When the dietitian first suggested I go back to residential treatment, I was like, she's just saying that to make me scared. So then I like figure things out and get my crap together.
Yeah. But then she's actually serious.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh no. And the eating disorder is pressing all of the alarms and it's like screaming. Yeah. So then I've talked about it with a lot of different people, like each person in my family separately and each person in my care team. And everyone seems to think the same thing.
That you should go back to residential treatment.
Yeah, or if not that I should do what I can to take care of myself because they've noticed some differences.
I guess it's really hard to decipher between your authentic thinking and the eating disorder thinking, right? Because sometimes you're just like, I'm fine. And everybody else knows you're not? Is that an accurate assessment? Or can you tell?
Well, I don't know. I think sometimes, like, there are times when I feel, okay, I'm not well. Like, I don't have energy.
Yeah.
I don't have these things that I used to think or do or be like.
Yeah.
And then there are other times where I'm like, I have a great day, and then I think, what's the matter? Why is everyone saying I should go to this place for more treatment and whatever?
So we don't really know what's happening. We're inquiring and searching and trying to find, because Tiki is an adult now, you've aged out of the program. So we're trying to figure out what's next. But Mom and Dad are pretty much hitting the red alert button. But some of the, like the hysteria and the violence, the screaming, all of the stuff of those early years is long gone. And we're happy about that.
I mean, we're not doing like FBT anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not being like, well, not force fed, but essentially
well,
that.
Pretty much force fed is what it was. So, so there's, things aren't as bad as they once were, but they're bad enough to give us all a great concern. So, I know a lot of you have prayed and sent well wishes and stuff, and we ask you to continue to do that. This is such a big struggle for Tiki, and to go through Science 1 on a malnourished brain, like, that's a major accomplishment. Like, you did it, and you're.
It's not the way I wanted to do it.
No, but you did some incredibly hard university courses with not everything working well. because of malnourishment. It's hard to say that, isn't it? You're like, I'm not malnourished. What's the matter? Or do you?
Sometimes, but sometimes it's also like, didn't my brain used to work a lot faster?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm just stupid. But then it's like, wait, no, I was smart before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to fuel that brain. But that, I guess that's what's so damning about this eating disorder, hey, is it just tells you lies that want to destroy you. And somehow it's just so difficult to shut off the lie. I hate this. I hate this monster so much. Final thoughts.
I'm thankful for the people who care about me even if they live far away or don't know me very well. I think that's really special. And they find that connection through Christ, kind of, I think. And I think that's powerful, even if it feels like things are going the wrong way.
Can you say a word about how faith may have been helping you through this difficulty?
Well, I don't know, because then that seems like maybe I've not been faithful as much or as devoted, and then things are declining, and that feels not right to me.
I see.
But I definitely think faith can play a role in helping people who struggle with eating disorders.
How would you say faith plays a role in helping people who struggle with eating disorders?
Well, at least for me, an eating disorder dictates a lot of my choices in what I do. But like, especially last summer when I got to be a volunteer at camp, it was like the faith part of things, or knowing that God is there, kind of helped me make decisions more. Being like, what if I make my decisions to honor God or to like serve others instead of the eating disorder?
Yeah. I mean, giving yourself, options for who you might want to serve. I know that sounds harsh. You don't really view yourself as serving an eating disorder, but in some ways,
It's my
when
master.
when it's in control, it's your master. And maybe God is a better master than the eating disorder.
Well, definitely God is better.
Totally. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. These are hard topics, and we know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with eating disorders or body dysmorphia, or just unsatisfied with the way God made them for a number of reasons. And that's one of the reasons why we ended up writing the book, was to try to help people. And so continue to pray for us, and if maybe there's something that's said in this podcast that's helpful to you, or you've picked up our book and read it and found some help in that, then we're happy about that. And that's why we're reaching out. So thanks everybody. Goodbye. Bye. Can I give you a little kiss? See ya.